Let's examine a tool that the Democrats use to fool the American people. To all my peeps out there who, like me, are the little guy that the Democrats claim to care so much about, let it be known that this is one of the tools that they use to keep you suckered. The notion that the Democrats are for the poor and Republicans are for the rich. I gotta remind you of this because it seems that the liberals still want to play that game. Okay, now if Republicans are for the rich, then that must mean that they need the rich to keep their power. And if they need the rich to keep their power, then that must mean that they need to keep the rich to keep their power. Okay, well, liberals, be fair now. If that's the case, and Democrats are for the poor, then that must mean that they need the poor. And they need to keep the poor that way to keep their power. And yes, it is worth it for the Democrats to keep it that way. It's worth over $11 trillion for them to keep it that way. That's how much money has been spent on the war on poverty. Yet after all that money spent, people are still in a state of financial discontent. See, you liberals who don't trust and hate the government so much want to give the government more power to reach into our pockets, take whatever it is that they've convinced us is okay to take out, put most of it in their pockets, and then put some of it in the pocket of somebody else who didn't work for it. Obama and the rest of those in the Democrat Party want to downplay trickle-down economics. And as we can see, what he's offering is socialism, or what we're going to call now is trickle-up economics. And this is even going to go beyond trickle-up economics. What Obama is offering is evaporative economics. An economic plan that's going to put us in a financial desert where it yields very little precipitation, you dig? See, check this out. A company that makes $250,000 or less is not small business. That's teeny tiny business. Y'all, there are a heck of a lot more businesses making over $250,000 a year, which means a lot of people are going to get taxed hard. We ought to start calling Barack Obama Joe the Plumber because his tax plan is going to bend America over and lay some serious pipe, you know what I'm saying? You think the middle class ain't going to feel the effects of the taxes that are about to be imposed on these businesses? Obama and the Democrats have got you drunk with the idea that you're about to get a piece of somebody else's pie. Obama and the Democrats have made you happy to be a bunch of little dogs waiting to get the scraps off of somebody else's table. Obama and the Democrat Party are the ones who stand above you holding up the head of the rich as you work yourselves into a frenzy so they can toss it to you. Now I'm just wondering, how does this make your life better as you destroy the ones who can give you jobs? Have y'all not read the story of the goose and the golden eggs? Y'all are about to cut open the goose and lose everything. Have you forgotten the 10 commandments? One of those commandments being thou shalt not covet. Y'all are desiring to take away from the rich until they have nothing, which means you will have nothing. I know there's still some Christian Democrats out there. The liberals haven't driven it from you fully yet.
Set your feelings, you know this to be true.
To my Christian Democrats, these liberal elitists look down on you. They think that you're stupid enough to believe that dinosaurs existed 4,000 years ago. Now, I know a lot more Christians than these people do, and I don't know one Christian that believes that dinosaurs existed 4,000 years ago. Senior citizens, you think the Democrats care about you? Look at how they're coming after John McCain because he's too old to know how to use a computer. As far as they're concerned, John McCain is obsolete and he got to go along with the rest of you. Oh, and to my senior citizens, come on now. Y'all know that y'all make a lot of medical visits, which means, of course, you will be making a lot of use of Barack Obama's health care plan. They're going to see you as a burden on their system. Now, does it absolutely suck when you try to get insurance and you have a pre-existing condition and you can't get it? Yes, it sucks bad. But you're sadly mistaken if you think the government can't deny you either. And of course, if you're dissatisfied with the government's treatment, how do you plan to hold them accountable? It's going to be kind of hard to challenge them after all the power you've given them. Come on, y'all, do you really think you're going to benefit from this liberal health care plan? Liberals are the ones who are always saying that we have a population problem. They can't wait for old folks to die. Liberals got them Planned Parenthood clinics set up all over the place to make sure that people of lesser stature don't breed and bring their little children into the world. And we don't want them little Down syndrome babies either. That's Sarah Palin. She should have aborted her child. I can't stand her. That's right. You got these liberals that believe that if you find out if your child has Down syndrome during your pregnancy, you should kill that child. My wife brought it to my attention that if you kill a child because the child has Down syndrome, then those are circumstances of discrimination. So wouldn't that qualify as a hate crime? And for those of you who want to attack Sarah Palin and her daughter, you just remember that Barack Obama's mama was a 17-year-old unwed mother. And you know what? God bless her. Now, we know that those circumstances aren't ideal, but we certainly don't hate Barack Obama's mother for it, or Barack Obama himself for it, for that matter. Liberals think that Joe the Plumber is dirt. What cracks me up, though, is that they want to make some crazy comparison. Well, it's all John McCain's fault. John McCain is the one who mentioned his name over 20 times. John McCain mentioned his name over 20 times in a positive light to reach out to Joe the Plumber and those who could relate to him. What's wrong with that? Barack Obama and his camp are trying to destroy Joe the Plumber and make an example of Joe the Plumber to let you all know that if you want to try to question Barack Obama and the Democrat Party, this is what you're going to get. And this is the kind of government that you want. And y'all want to try to call George Bush a fascist? You liberals wouldn't know fascism or oppression if it sat down with you to smoke a bowl. George Bush has never tried to have anybody silenced or destroyed for questioning him or dissing him for the past 8 years. Barack Obama is only on his campaign and he's having somebody destroyed. What do you think he's going to be able to do as president? Oh, but no, not Barack Obama. He's the most merciful community organizer like Jesus Christ. Ignore the fact that people swear that racism is so prevalent in our society today. Yet despite that prevalent racism, here comes Barack Obama, who has such a shady history and doesn't seem to have that much to put on his resume, and is about to step into the seat of power in the United States of America. If racism is bad as you swear it is, then you got to understand that Barack Obama ain't doing this on his own. And you want to accuse George Bush of being a puppet? Barack Obama is a puppet. See, Barack Obama is a tool. The Democrat Party has an agenda that a lot of us don't agree with. But if you try to challenge that agenda, all they got to do is just look at Barack Obama and say, did you hear what they did? They challenged you. They must be racist. Oh yes, your messianic community organizers got some real change coming for you. They're going to bring upon this change by playing on your guilt, and not much good is going to come from that. Now, I'd like to point out a fundamental difference between the two community organizers, Jesus Christ and Barack Obama. America's in a state of discontent. We're not at peace, and both the community organizers know that. See, Jesus Christ says, I want you to take all that hurt and all that blame, all that hate and all that shame, and I want you to put it on me. You just go ahead and you stack it on me, because you can't carry it. But your load will have to be light to ensure your ascension into heaven. Whereas Barack Obama and the Democrat Party take all that hurt, all that blame, all that hate, and all that shame and lay it on you to make sure your load is heavy, to ensure your dissension into hell. Now I got something to say about those people who keep telling me, why are you voting for John McCain? He's not even really a conservative. Y'all, I know that John McCain isn't as conservative as we like, but Barack Obama is no kind of conservative. Dang, y'all, do you always want a touchdown off the kickoff? You may have to take a few downs before you get to the end zone. We may not gain all the yards that you want with McCain, but we don't lose yards with him. You know what I'm saying? And those that are pulling for Chuck Baldwin or Bob Barr, look, I understand that y'all want to make a strong stance for conservatism. I feel you. But here's the thing, y'all. Y'all are about to do the right thing at the wrong time. You're going to screw us. And when I say us, I mean the U.S. What are y'all trying to do, man? You trying to make a point? You trying to teach us a lesson? You going to show us what a real conservative is supposed to be? Y'all are going to compromise the security of our nation by ensuring a victory for Barack Obama just so you can make a point. And then, of course, there's the hatred that comes towards me. You know, the big sellout and Uncle Tom and stuff. A black man that sells death in the form of drugs to another black man, that's a sellout. A black man that sells another black woman on the street, that's a sellout. A black man that says that he loves his black sister so much but gets her knocked up and leaves her to raise that child on her own, that's a sellout. Rappers that have these videos that have these beautiful black women in them but show that the only thing that they're good for is smearing their booty all up in the camera, that's a sellout. Black men who claim to love God, yet the only time they lift their eyes is when they're looking up at the stripper up on the stage or when they tilt their head back to finish off their 40. That's a sellout. I get hit with stuff like, I bet even your woman is white. Before you go claiming that and go off having a problem with it, then you should have a problem with Barack Obama's daddy, because Barack Obama's mama was white. And if a black man and a white woman is an unholy union to you, then according to your arbitrary doctrine, Obama should be an abomination.
Keep the pressure if you fold. Make your body shiver when it isn't even cold. Unbar your fist before you get hurt, cause I can see your heartbeat through your shirt. Never see the slave be the name you remember. That makes you break a sweat in the cross to the silver. For the Almighty is my shield and my sword. To run against the enemy before I go to war. I'm